Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Well, you're looking colorful and holiday festive.
You are too, and you're very pretty in pink.
Thanks. Well, I'm wearing pink. It doesn't sound like a holiday color. Sunday, the preacher at the church we're attending right now wore a pink stole.
Virtually, we don't go
Virtually,
in,
yeah. Wore a pink stole, and she said, "This is the only day of the year I get to wear my pink stole because it's Rejoice Sunday in the season of Advent. The third Sunday is Rejoice, Gaudete, Rejoice." So I'm wearing pink to celebrate, and I think it comes into what we talk about: what you put on. Whatever your circumstances are, and that's rejoicing regardless of our circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we've said this many, many a time, but it's still so true. You will see people in dire circumstances who are happy, and you'll see people in absolutely problemless, luxurious circumstances who are unhappy.
Yeah.
And that alone tells you something about how much happiness is linked to circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Now, our attitude toward our circumstances is everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
So being able to find something to appreciate and enjoy, no matter the circumstances, is critical to bringing forth that feeling of joy and wholeness and being at one with God. When we're unhappy, we are at war with God.
Yeah.
We have decided that life is not as it ought to be. God somehow really screwed up here. And so that whole idea of belief that is the path to everlasting life is, for that moment at least, not accessible.
And something that helps me, even when my circumstances, my attitude is, this isn't a very happy situation or rejoicing moment, in this occasion or whatever, is sometimes for instance, it's using some of those externals like music. That song, "It's the most wonderful time of the year." And I like that song because it's so positive, and it just goes, yeah, why don't you get out of yourself, Gary, and just get out of your grumpy attitude right now and just open up to something different, because it's possible. Because even in songs like that, God works through even secular songs to invite us to rejoice.
Yeah. And I think about how difficult, really, it is technically impossible to go from a place of huge grief and woundedness and all of that to joy. You just can't get there from here. But it's always possible to go a little happier, to choose a thought that's just a little happier than the one that you had before, to notice something and not be completely bummed by it, that kind of thing, to begin to look for opportunities to express a little appreciation or just acceptance. Sometimes acceptance is just a great gateway to joy. So the idea isn't so much like to beat yourself over the head, why am I not full of joy?
Happy,
when I just got socked by life itself, I lost this, or, this relationship is just awful, or whatever. But to be able to, in little incremental pieces, to gradually decide that the trajectory of my life is toward joy. And so take those little bitty steps. We talked a little bit about NLP techniques yesterday, and those can be helpful for just kind of mooching you down the road toward joy. But all the time, too, giving yourself a break. Nothing kills joy more than guilt.
Yeah, right. But you know what? We've talked about vibrational frequencies before. And wherever you are on the scale of vibrational, if you're at gloom or fear or anger or resentment or wherever you are, no matter where you are, or if you're at contentment or calm, you can always move up just another notch energy-wise. And you may not go from despair to delight,
Ecstasy.
ecstasy. You know, but you can up your vibrational frequency just a little bit by using any of the activities of this season to help move you to a different place than where you are. That's where we're talking. You know, whatever your circumstances, you can open up to joy because it's the basis of it is there in the universe right now. We're going to get to this a little bit more tomorrow, but
I was, just wanted to make one little thing too is, that if you're in despair, for example, sometimes just being angry is an improvement.
Well, that's true.
And so it's sort of like we should give each other, I don't know, give each other some slack when we're angry. It's just you don't want to stay there. You want to move through it to the next thing, which would be just irritation, maybe.
At least maybe put on a pink shirt or something.
That might help.
Deck thyself with joy and gladness, leave the gloomy haunts of sadness. That's an old hymn. There's wisdom in those kind of admonitions. We have reason to move from where we are to just a little bit better place.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be perfect.
And I know that for a long time, my habit was to go to the darkest place that I could find. Now my habit is to go to the lightest place that I can find. And it made all the difference in the world.
Yet, because in thy dark streets shineth the everlasting light.
The everlasting light.
Okay, would you pray for us?
The darkness cannot put out.
Yeah, would you pray?
Sure. Oh, dear God, what a wonder of how you have structured life to where the biggest sacrifice we have to make is to sacrifice our gloom and sadness. Leave it behind and move into your everlasting light. We thank you, we praise you, and we are up to the task. In the name of the Christ, amen.
Amen.